Welcome to the Nest postgame show here at the MVP Arena. After a 75-44 Albany Firebirds win, they move on to 11-0 and to next week's championship game against either Nashville or Southwest Kansas. I'm Adam Samra with my co-host Chris Sipperly, and in the middle we have one of the defensive stars. No. One of the stars from the Albany Firebirds, Ezekiel Rose. Zeke, how are we doing this evening after a nice win and run to the championship here?
I feel good inside, but outside I'm hurting, man. My shell is cracked, but I feel good, man. I feel my spirits are high, man. Morale is high with the team, so I'm positive.
So I got to ask you right out of the gate.
Hold on, just get nice and close to the thing. I don't want to miss a word you're saying.
So yep. I want to ask you this right out of the gate.
There we go.
You record a sack, I want to say second quarter or something like that. And you did this for your teammate. How important was it for you to kind of have a big game tonight since he was out?
It was a very big deal. Me and him talked about it all week. He was upset because he couldn't play, like real upset. It was a visible thing throughout practice. But me and him talked all week. Talked about his morale, talked about, the way that he carried himself, and he came with very good energy. And every time I looked to the sideline, he was like, we knew he was upset, but he was cheering us on the whole time.
Yeah, can't ask for anything better than that.
It made a big difference.
Yeah, given the situation, absolutely.
For real, it made a big difference.
Second half, it goes into halftime. You guys have a 10-point lead, and it's like, these guys, you're in the playoffs now. Every opponent's going to be a good opponent. You guys hold them to 19 in the second half. Talk about some adjustments you made, and just how were you able to kind of slow down the Salina offense.
Honestly, it was more effort on the defensive front side. We had to actually make the quarterback know that we were there. You know what I'm saying? So we had to get to him, at least be there by him. Excuse me. The story got to me.
Don't worry about it.
But no, we had to make sure that the quarterback knew we were there. And every chance we got to touch him or sack him or anything like that, we had to, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, it affected him big time.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Mess with his timing and everything like that. So that was one of the main things, man. And the whole D-line bought into it. So that was one of the main adjustments. We just had to give more effort.
Right, because I think you had a couple of sacks. Drew had a couple.
Yes.
Jamal had one or half. So just a whole bunch of guys getting it done, doing what they need to be doing on that defensive line to make their quarterback, just have to think about it twice.
Oh yeah, man. That was a big part of it, man. Because if one eat, everybody eat. So we were just taking turns, honestly, getting out there and making stuff happen. So. It was a beautiful thing as a D lineman to see other D linemen eating with you. You know what I'm saying? So
ain't nothing better than a sack party.
Man, I'm telling you, ain't no party like a sack party.
That's right.
You know what? Let me not finish that. That didn't sound right. Go ahead.
Hey, this is Firebirds Weekly After Dark.
With Rose. Oh God.
One half of the Romantics.
Yeah, I think, needless to say, I think the Romantics are going to have a killer.
Week
next week.
Get treacherous.
Yeah, I think Harold is going to be at an all-time high.
Love is going to be rested. Old man going to be ready to go. That man, listen, 35 ain't never looked so good on somebody. That big son gun be moving, and I love his energy, man. That's my dog, bro. Like I never knew that I could love a dude that much, man, but that's my guy, man.
Yeah.
When love hurt, I hurt. When he happy, I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? And we real with each other too. That's man. If you talk to him about me, he probably say the same exact thing, man. We've been through some stuff in this short, 5-6 months?
Right, not even a year.
Man. But yeah, no, I'm glad I met him, man. He's definitely a great person, man. Great heart, great dude altogether.
Yeah, I think that was probably, as from a fan perspective, that was the hardest thing to see this week. It's like, he didn't, regardless of whatever opinion you have, whatever the rules are or aren't, I think, to a man, we all kind of felt that was a very unfortunate thing.
Yeah.
No matter who wants to take responsibility of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the thing is, he knew, like, it was the fact that, you know what I'm saying, they called it, so we can't do nothing about it. So we took responsibility for it. Like at the beginning of the week, it was like everything was messed up. He was hot, but then he took responsibility for it and he changed his attitude, and that made a big difference for the whole defense.
Oh, 100%. That's the biggest thing is like, in my past, I was in charge of running a team for a while. And it's really on how fast you could turn the page when something bad happens.
Yes.
Because it could very easily, Monday can turn into Wednesday, and then Wednesday turns into Friday, and before you know it, Saturday, you're not prepared. So that's pretty critical to be able to turn that page and just kind of be like, hey, it is what it is, and let's just beat somebody.
And that's what, when we talked to Coach Ware on Thursday for our Firebirds Weekly show, he talked about that next man up mentality. You guys, do that. And again, you guys prove that, with everybody getting in the stat sheet and everybody making plays. Just talk about having that next man up mentality to say, okay, hey, he's not going to play, but, let's make it happen no matter what.
So I'm going to be honest with you. It wasn't even the next man up because everybody knows they can make plays. Like, it don't matter who's in because it's not like we have a worse player. There's no such thing.
Right.
Everybody, like, whoever is in has the potential to make multiple plays a game. So it was just like, hey, your turn to make plays. It wasn't even like all right, our good man's down, so our bad man. No
right.
such thing.
No, right.
Everybody was ready to rock and roll for real. And it was so lovely, man. It was lovely. I ain't gonna lie.
No pun intended.
Yeah, nice. We like that.
Pun intended.
I wanted to talk about some of the guys on the other side. Sam Castanova with 10 total touchdowns tonight, 8 throwing, 2 rushing, and he had 2 touchdowns to all 4 receivers, 2 to Wade, 2 to Isaiah, 2 to DB3, and 2 to Darian Townsend. Just, when you're on the sideline and you're watching, a master at work, do what he does, tell me, what that's like when you're watching him do his thing and they're like, okay, hey, they're going to score. So all we have to keep doing our thing. He's going to keep doing his.
You know what my thoughts are every time?
Yes.
Slow down.
Yeah.
All right, I'm tired. All right, slow down, Sam. Come on, bro. I got to catch my breath. I look up and he's like, I scored too fast. I'm like, yes.
Well, truth be told, I was going the next question I was going to have is I felt, watching the game that you guys really wore the offensive line down.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And I feel like Coach talks about it. You guys are in incredible shape. I don't think anybody can really play 4 quarters like this team can. I really don't.
No, real talk. I'm not going to lie. Shout out to that guy, Tory Boyd, number 55 for Salina.
Yeah.
He was well in shape. He was ready to go, man. He prepared for this. And I don't know if he ever going to hear this, but I give him his flowers while he's here, man. That man is a ball player. I give him that. But other than that, man, it's a lot of stuff that we do on the outside, you know what I'm saying, that people don't see. You know what I'm saying? We go out, we do extra workouts, we go run hills, we go, you know what I'm saying, to the weight room extra times a day. And it's starting to pay off, you know what I'm saying? And we get a little winded, but when we catch that second wind, it's a whole different thing, man. And
and I think that's something for the second half. Like, you guys obviously do well in the first half as well, but I think you just turn up the wick for that second half. And, God forbid the team that tries to match you. They couldn't do it tonight.
No, and that's one of the things that we take pride in, man. Every time that we have a meeting or something and Coach Cisse is talking to us, man, he always brings up the fact that we do extra. Ain't nobody out there doing extra. Some teams only practice 2 days a week.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Ooh, excuse me. We out there every single day getting to it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We run there, we get into the ball. We outside of practice, we go right around the corner, run the little hills behind the Exxon. We just try to make something different happen every week.
That must be a fun sight, too. You drive by there and you just see these guys, like, running up and down the hill.
Man, shirts off, all the fat boys everywhere, man. It's only 2-3 fat boys, man.
Well, as a former lineman, I feel that. I viscerally feel that.
Me, Love, and Hickbottom, we out there with our shirts off like we got 6-pack. And we got Drew and DJ. And we got Umam Yellen. That's my dog, young tall guy. I like him.
He was honestly. I gotta use one of your phrases, give him flowers. He was out there tonight throwing footballs with kids out in the block party, and I was really impressed by that because he didn't have to do that.
Person.
Yeah,
he's a great rookie.
Made a huge impact on the kids out there.
Yeah, he's definitely a great rookie, and I tell him this all the time. Drew Singleton's my favorite rookie, but he's a close second. All right. You know what I'm saying? And I tell them who's the favorite and who's not. I don't want no, you know what I'm saying, no misunderstandings, but I love them all.
Singleton's been hard. Like, I hope we can speak to him next week because I think he's the only guy that we haven't been able to get a hold of.
Please do that.
Yeah, it would be
right there.
Good,
he is a great crash out. He is ready to crash out at any point, but if I ask him, like Drew, I need you to do this, he's like, yes, sir, I got you. And he's just ready for anything, man. Definitely one of those kids. He's one of those guys that you have to slow down, and them the people that I love. I don't want to have somebody where I'm like, go get him. No, he's like, Drew, all right, Drew. All right. That's enough. I Love that kid, man, for real.
Oh, that's amazing. So last year, the Firebirds got to the championship, but weren't able to finish. Coach Cisse, I talked to him, in the hall. I've done that every week now for like 5 or 6 weeks, so it's tradition now. So I have to do it after next week because I know that I know you guys will get it done. What is it, to bring a championship and to be able to have that opportunity to get it done this year and do it here in Albany as opposed to the mall?
Before we get to anything with Coach Cisse, all I gotta say is, oh, I know you see it every time he runs out, man. That's his thing, man. And I credit him a lot, man. Me and him will bump heads every now and then, but I know he means well. You know what I'm saying? And he's an amazing coach, man. Stellar guy. He definitely a stand-up guy, man. He takes care of his kids when he's not with us, but he's with us so much. He does so much for us, and I really appreciate him, man. He definitely takes the role as a defensive coordinator, man. He got big energy, and he's just like always ready to put his neck out on the line.
I always think he goes he's one of those guys to me that I feel like he sleeps angry. You know what I mean?
He will go to sleep at 3, be up at 6,
Yeah.
all the energy, and sleep throughout the day. He'll take naps throughout the day just to be with us. I appreciate him a lot.
He has a young one at home.
Yeah, I think it's amazing too because you got him and you got Coach Hobbs, and both of them could put on their helmets right now and fill in, no problem.
Now, I wouldn't say no problem. Now, Coach,
Well,
get out there and give you 1 or 2 series. That'll be nice now, but his back will start hurting, you know. No, I'm just playing. He'll definitely get out there and do some work. Now, Coach Hobbs, now that's a different story. You can see him in the gym every other day.
Oh yeah, we saw. We were waiting, and we wanted to do. I did an interview with Coach Cisse, and I did one with Dwayne Brown, and he comes out of the thing, and he's got his shirt off, and he's just literally like, and I'm like, that is the one jacked up dude.
That's about Coach Hobbs.
Coach Hobbs, yeah.
Man, I'm telling you, he do his push-ups on his head. You know what I'm saying? Just headstand push-ups. I don't understand.
Yeah, it's great, and it's been great this year to be around you guys, and we really appreciate it. Zeke Rose after a big win tonight. We'll see you for the championship, and we'll get it done. I know it.
Get it done.
All right, Zeke, I appreciate it. Thank you.
I appreciate y'all too, man.
All right, we'll be back right after this.
We good?
Yep.
Can I move?
Yes, you're good.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh man, I just want y'all to know I couldn't hear nothing in my headset.
It's all good.
Nothing.
It's still going, dude.
It's not there, so.
Hi, Mom.
So let's just hop off the stage here real quick.
Welcome back to the Nest postgame show. Zeke Rose just there. An amazing guy, amazing football player. Albany's lucky to have a guy like that repping the black and orange.
Oh no, for sure. I meant to make a joke with him before he left, but he must get held a lot because he's got holes on just about every spot in that jersey.
I think so. They don't. I don't think the referees called enough holds on
No,
Zeke.
And one thing I could definitely say, I mean, it must be 3-4 times a game that shoulder pad gets turned up and up on its not axis but on vertically, and somebody has to put his pads back in his jersey just about every game. So with that, we thank him for coming on, and yeah, Albany's going to the championship game. How about that, huh?
How about it? It's good. They're looking to get the first arena crown for AF1. Obviously, the inaugural season of AF1. And I think it was a overall effort tonight. You couldn't just say like, oh, this guy got it done or that guy got it done. A complete overall effort from everybody this evening. And that's what it's going to take. No matter who they play Saturday at 1:00 here at MVP Arena, whether they play Nashville or Southwest Kansas, that game is tomorrow to find out who will be the opponent. And I just. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, both of them, no matter who comes in here, it's going to be a hell of a game. And, obviously I think that Albany will prevail. But, we'll have to see how it goes, who comes in.
If you're going to do what they did tonight, what I mean by that, obviously, you're not going to score 70,
75
points. Like,
it's
that's
75
obviously
tonight.
not a guarantee, but I mean, take a look around. I mean, you ran through the stats pretty quickly.
We'll do some of that
It's just
too.
just crazy. Like, I mean, Darian Townsend, Markel Wade. I shouldn't have said Townsend, but Wade in particular kind of just took that next step.
Hmm.
So yeah, good luck.
Yeah, I mean, Sam had 8 touchdown throws and 2 touchdown runs to be to have 10 total touchdowns, which was he had a hand in every single one, and he had 4 receivers had 2 touchdown receptions each. Townsend had 2. Dwayne Brown had 2. Markel Wade had his first 2. Maybe I don't know if it's first 2, but definitely he hasn't had many this year.
Yeah.
And then Isaiah Scott had the last 2.
Man, what a throw, what a route on that last one.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we both look at each other and it's like, man, it must be nice to just be able to throw to a spot because that was right on the money.
Oh yeah, and the thing is, it's like he can throw it up and guys will go get it, but he can also dot it too. Because one of the second touchdown to Wade, and we'll get to kind of a little bit of all of that in a minute here. He couldn't have placed it there any better.
No,
And it was from 42. It was literally almost the full field, 42 yards on that pass play, and it's just a dot right to Markel.
Yep.
So, so for people, again, tonight at the MVP Arena, we had almost 3,000 people. 2,987 was the attendance tonight, and they say a heck of a game. We'll start, kind of run down the scoring a little bit, just kind of talk about what happened here and there. Salina starts out the scoring. Where they started I'm blanking on the kid's name. What's the first name for their quarterback? I know it's Kilgo is the last name, but
my goodness. Honestly, it's been last name basis for so long.
I know, right? It's just Kilgo, yeah.
Yeah, let's go with that for right now until I look it up.
Sure. But he started at quarterback. They've kind of had a 2 quarterback thing between him and Rakeem Cato.
Yeah,
Rakeem, I remember.
Yeah, based on health. Yep.
Based on health. And they started out the game. He scrambles for 14 yards and scores a touchdown to give them a 7-0 lead early. And then Sam Castronova comes right back on the next drive and runs himself and on what it looked like a design run. I mean, there wasn't really a scramble. It was like he kind of stood back, saw there was an opening in front of him, and took off to make it 7-7. And then Marcus Smith. And if anybody's going to get maybe a defensive player of the game, we talked to Zeke and we talked about all those guys. We really didn't talk about Marcus Smith. The captain comes back after 4 weeks away.
Yep.
And comes up with a pair of interceptions. The first interception, he runs back for a touchdown to give the Firebirds a 14-7 lead. Just talk about, Marcus and, being able to insert himself right back into the lineup, with some new guys that have come in. Kyle Chandler's come in and some other, guys have moved around. And it's like he didn't miss a beat.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I say this every single time we do this. He's a really physical football player that, has the ability to help his teammates get in the right spot. I feel like the combination of his physicality and his intelligence as a football player, Coach, on Thursday, all these days are running together. But,
we had our interview on Thursday.
Yeah, so Thursday, I know, Coach ultimately gave him the week off, and he's like, listen, I got to make sure that he's ready for the playoffs. We can't afford to not have him, come game day this week. Came up big. I tell you, man, that secondary would not be fun to play against.
No, because you've got to literally, you got to go for everybody. You can't just, there's not, one guy you can pick on.
Right.
Everybody can make a play, and Marcus Smith did there with the interception return for a touchdown to make it 14-7. Javin Kilgo, see again, we were on last name basis, but we got the first name. Javin Kilgo ties it again with a 19-yard touchdown pass to Malik Honeycutt, who offensively went off. I think he had 15 or 16 catches for probably over 200 yards and the 3 touchdowns. So, he was tough, and he's been probably one of the top receivers in the league the entire year.
He had a huge game when he was up here. I don't know.
Yeah, a month and a half ago or so. Bailey Hale, their kicker, kicked a deuce to give them a 16-14 lead, but then Albany comes right back. And Sam Castronova, the next two scores were both to Darian Townsend, a 19-yard touchdown to make it 21-16. And then a couple possessions later, 11-yard touchdown pass to Darian to make it 28-16. When I talked to Dwayne Brown after the game tonight in an interview that we'll post later on, he talked about how, he called Darian the OG of the receiver room, and how, he's kind of that leader in there for that whole crew. And I agree, he's, not the biggest guy, but, he makes plays, he gets open, and you throw the ball anywhere near him and he's catching the thing.
Yeah, another huge game from him. I mean, I know that it was a touchdown party. Everybody had two, but again, man, like, I don't know. Like, he's just one of those guys that really fits the mold. I'm going to use a phrase that Coach used on Thursday. Really is one of those guys that can really play well in football in a blender, as Coach Ware.
Yeah, we do love what he said. That's what the arena game is football in a blender. Kilgo then, another touchdown to Honeycutt cuts the lead to 5. Bailey Hill with a second deuce cuts the lead to 3, and that's as close as Salina would get because Casanova then threw 2 touchdown passes to Dwayne Brown. The first was from 10 yards out to make it 35-25. That was the play right at the end of the half. The Firebirds had 2 seconds left and a 4th down from the 10-yard line.
Gutsy call, by the way.
Gutsy call. Yeah, you and I were talking about it, and we're like, oh, maybe just take the points. No, says Damon Ware. No.
Listen, he's called the professor for a reason.
That's why he gets paid the big bucks.
He can't be afraid to win.
That's right.
And that's something that he put on full display.
And it was a gutsy call, but also a gutsy play. Sam kind of goes back in the pocket, doesn't get the read right away, rolls to the right, starts directing traffic, telling guys to move over this way or move this way. Sees Dwayne crossing over and throws it across his body to the opposite corner of the end zone for a touchdown with no time left in the half. So an amazing play,
absolutely critical
to take a 10-point lead into halftime.
It was a thing of beauty. I'll get picked on for saying this, but that was very similar to a play that Josh Allen made last year to Keon Coleman. I'll show you on our way home.
Sure. All right, we'll see it.
Very similar.
All right.
It's
all I remember is him running for a 31-yard touchdown. I'm talking about Josh Allen, by the way, in the game against the Chiefs. That's the one I remember.
Yeah, no, I was actually lucky enough to be there. What an awesome play. But anyway.
All right. Enough with the Bills. And then Albany gets the ball to start the second half, and Sam Castronova immediately makes good, throwing another 10-yard touchdown pass to Dwayne Brown to make it 42-25. Javin Kilgo answers with a 35-yard touchdown pass to Ed Smith Jr. Again, another great receiver for the Liberty. That's the crazy thing about this game. Like these, we talk about the Firebirds and we talk about other great receivers, but Salina might be number 2 when it comes to having 3 or 4 guys that you have to pay attention to every single guy because they can beat you 1-to-1. And in the second half, especially, the Firebird defense just came up huge.
Yeah. All 3 of those guys are really, really good. It's really honestly, and I know we're worried about the Firebirds, but looking at what they have in Salina is pretty good. So you can't help but wonder what the next step is for them. Like, where do they get better? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
I think they're a really good team, but
definitely. And they got good. Obviously, they've got some great receivers. And both of those guys, Kilgo and Rakeem Cato again, who didn't play tonight with injuries and that, but he played against the Firebirds the first time back in the beginning of May in the game that ended up going 62-56 in overtime, the Firebirds' way. So at that point, it was 42-31 after the point after was missed. And then 3 straight touchdown passes from Sam, 26 yards to Markel Wade. And then the 42, like I said, a play where Markel is just running that corner route and just right to the back of the end zone, and you couldn't have placed that ball any better into Markel's hands.
He had a fantastic game tonight. not limited to his receiver play. But,
right, Markel, and definitely some great returns as well. You're right.
I mean, he made plays like I picked on him. I don't know, probably 2 months ago now, and I said to him, hey, jokingly, hey, I see you out there making special teams plays. I see you out there making tackles. And at the time, he's like, yeah, because he didn't put up, like, in terms of receiving yards, he didn't have a great year.
Right.
But if he could turn it on and it becomes another guy you got to worry about, I mean,
right, yeah, no, it's something where he's contributing in multiple ways. It's not just on special teams anymore. He's contributing in the offense, and again, now whoever they play for the championship, you're looking at the film, and you're going, oh crap, we got to watch out for 0 too. So I think that's a big deal. That made the score 55-31 late in the third quarter, and then early in the fourth, Sam throws a 16-yard touchdown pass to Isaiah Scott. I believe that was off a turnover on downs. So Salina was trying to make a comeback, and just the defense made that very difficult. And that gave the Firebirds a 31-point lead, 62-31. One more touchdown pass from Kilgo, 30-yard touchdown to Malik Honeycutt. And then Sam, 39-yard pass to Isaiah Scott. So there was Scott's 2. So it literally ended up being Townsend 2, Brown 2, Wade 2, Scott 2, like in that order, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Salina then had one final touchdown on a 1-yard run by their center on a play that I don't know if he ever actually snapped it, but the referees said that he did.
Honestly, that ball disappeared. I don't even remember the referee coming over and picking the ball, spot it. Like, I don't even know where the ball came from. It just all of a sudden it was ready to be kicked. I don't know who scored that touchdown. I'm assuming
it was this. I think it was the center. I think he maybe fake spiked it or fake hiked it and then fell on the thing. I have no idea.
It could be, it happened so fast and there was no replay on it. So.
But then, Casanova, of course, finishes off his tremendous game with his 10th total touchdown, his second run, 1-yard run with about 1 minute left or so.
Yeah.
And that was the final, 75-44. So a terrific game for the Firebirds, making their way to the championship for the second straight year. Obviously, last year being
that's a real big deal.
AFL, right?
Back then, yeah.
Back then, last year was as the AFL, and now in the inaugural year of Arena Football 1. And the championship, we know, will be at 1 o'clock on Saturday, June 26th. So next Saturday afternoon here at the MVP Arena. Not sure why it's at 1 o'clock when most of the other games have been at 7, but I'm sure it's because something is going on here, maybe a concert or something.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of things going on. One thing I want to mention, too, before I forget, Tuesday afternoon, you and I will be on open mic on 104.5 The Team.
Yes.
So if you guys would like to check that out, we're gonna make our 104.5 The Team debut on Tuesday. So
it should be somewhere about 3:30 or so, I believe, is what we talked to MJ, and so we're going to be on 104.5 The Team talking Albany Firebirds football on Tuesday. So please join us for that. We would love to have you guys do that.
I didn't mean to cut you off, but again, thank you. That helmet raffle was phenomenal.
Oh my God, yes. It's online right now. We drew the winner during our pregame show, and Tom Gross, one of the Firebird faithful, won the raffle. So congratulations to Tom. And we raised more than $1,000. We raised $1,050 for the Center for Disability Services. So we want to thank every single one of the people that bought tickets, anybody that supported us. So we were able to make a donation to that terrific cause here in the Capital Region. That was great. We had one of the people from one of the preschools help pick the ticket. Mm-hmm. We had Ann here and from the center. I'm very happy about that. I'm very pleased that the Firebird community supported us with their money and their time and everything involved. The flock support, Denise Secor and Steve Lounsbury both helped us sell tickets with it. They allowed us to take a spot for our helmet, and they sold tickets for us and stuff like that. So I can't thank those two enough, or any of the people that do flock support.
No, it's been absolutely crazy. I mean, I went to the bank yesterday and had a cashier's check for an amount, and like I'm thinking, worst case scenario, we'll have to get her, get them another check. Well, this check is going to be almost twice as much as the original
As
check
the
that we
big
got
check.
yesterday.
Yeah.
So
It's a good problem to have.
amazing things. I can't thank you guys enough. Next year we have something in mind for next year, but again, thanking it for anybody that gave us a chance this year. We got one more game to cover.
Yep. And according to, I'm looking at our thing and I see Tim Capper, and he says high school graduation is scheduled for Sunday at noon. So that may explain the early start.
So if we stick around long enough, we'll make it a diploma.
I already got a couple.
No. I'm 2 math credits away from mine, so I'll stick around and see what happens.
There you go. All right. I think that, I mean, I'm excited for Saturday. I can't wait to see what happens either way. Whether they play Nashville or Southwest Kansas, I think it's going to be a tremendous atmosphere. Get out, come to the championship. It's 1:00, so it's early enough. You're not getting home super late with the kids.
Yeah, I can definitely appreciate that. I mean,
and tickets are, I think they're $25-$30 for tickets. It's not like a crazy number. You get so much out of it. They do a lot of in-game things with the kids, and they do the t-shirt toss, which people go crazy for.
And honestly, like, I know we're not there yet, but like I think Nashville poses the biggest challenge.
Yeah, again, tomorrow we find out, who they face, and we'll talk about it, next week on the Firebirds Weekly. We'll have another show. I'd like to hopefully we can talk to Damon again, but we'll definitely have a guest on at some point, I'm sure on Monday or some point during the week.
Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting week. There's a lot going on.
Schools getting out, New York schools are getting done. So, obviously we're in the graduation season for families and things.
It's a good problem to have. We'll figure it out. We will cover this game, and we will hopefully do it well. So with that,
we will be with you sometime this week. So watch out for on our social medias, the Nest, Albany Firebirds News on Instagram, Facebook.
That's pretty much most of it.
TikTok, maybe.
Yeah.
Lots of places to find our content. And we look forward to covering the championship, and then we're looking forward to doing some off-season stuff. So more to come from the Nest as we get into the off-season for the Firebirds. But we don't have to worry about that today. We have a championship to cover on Saturday at 1:00 here at the MVP Arena. And for me, and for my co-host Chris Sipperly, my name is Adam Saramov, and for my producer, my wife Cassandra, who has been amazing help for us this year, technically, being with us, doing all the things. I just want to make sure that gets out there also, because she really does help us out. A major team effort. She does the videos when I do the backstage videos. She's like the person holding up her arms, going like, I stop talking. Stop. But yeah, no, I love her, and she has been really, really helpful. So I do appreciate that. So for Adam Samarov, myself, and Chris Epperly, and Cassandra Samarov, we bid you farewell from the MVP Arena after 75-44 victory tonight over the Salina Liberty. And we'll see you next week.